I think you did it again.
We are live. We are live. We are live. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I got some good people in here already.
Scott McClure, welcome, welcome, welcome. JBP, welcome, welcome. Digging with Deej. Hey, Deej. I did watch your premiere while I was getting things ready. And
that's on my Saturday morning to-do list. I've got a whole bunch of them to watch. I did see that, the Come Out Swinging. Boy, I saw Paul. I saw Mark, the Berg Hunters, and it looked windy.
Yeah,
pretty windy.
On Deej's video, you could tell it was really, really windy.
Yeah.
Of course, they had the storms go through too, and they got let's see, I don't remember what day it was. I guess it was Saturday. It got real windy down here too in Georgia. In fact, we lost some trees down in the woods, nothing near the house.
Yeah.
Me and Belinda, we heard one fall was sitting in the living room watching TV, and a big old gust of wind. And then all of a sudden we heard pow, and then we heard it fall through the limbs and stuff and hit the ground. We just kind of looked at each other and went, there ain't nothing you can do about it. But guys, again, we got this block down here. But this time, there is actually somebody behind that block who remains, they're camera shy, I guess.
Yeah, well.
Do you want to say hello, special guest?
Hello.
Hey! Oh, wait. It's been a long time since Belinda's been on here, and
about time.
And she wouldn't have been on here if she had to work tonight. She got the holiday off tonight, so she elected to pop in and join us. She's gonna read all the questions for us, because Jonathan and I have a bucket load of stuff to talk about tonight. And Jonathan and Barbara, that's enough of that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I do. I seen it. They're in cahoots to get me to do stuff. I can't get your stuff done.
You better get on it then, for Pete's sake. Your sister needs your help.
Luckily, I did see a picture she sent me. She done got her building up and ready to go. She just needs to insulate it and do the insides.
And
I'm not doing
all the hot tub.
I'm not. She can call the plumber and the sheetrockers and people for that. I can't do sheetrock.
She has you.
I can't do sheetrock.
You could if you tried.
I don't do sheetrock at work.
So, sounds like an excuse.
Kind
of a weak one at that too.
All right. Yeah.
Moving along.
Oh my. But
I bet
yeah,
that's
guys,
the story of his life, huh, Barbara? Excuse.
Moving on, we want to say hello to Mark the Bird Hunter.
Hi, Mark.
Welcome, Mark. Glad you could make it. I seen some pictures of Mark and Piper from Come Out Swinging.
Yes, but Deej, Mark has that. I mean, Paul has that built-in air filter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Keep on, Jonathan.
We'll stop. All right. Press the pause button.
Oh, man. But like I said, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Some pretty interesting stuff. And we are going to let Jonathan lead us off tonight. And what have you got to talk about, Jonathan?
Well, we're going to kick it off by talking about a coin. Big surprise. And it's a coin that I think most folks who are coin collectors know, maybe have in their collection. I don't know. It's backstage, Paul, if you would like to put up the...
All right. Let's do this and do this.
Oh, look at that. He pressed buttons and nothing went kaboom. All right. Well, it's been said that in its day, the Franklin $50 did not receive a whole lot of excitement among coin collectors. It was kind of a utilitarian coin that was big, and it really wasn't a coin that folks wanted to carry in their pockets anyway, not in large numbers. But considering that the last Franklin $50 was minted well over a half century ago, I think it's fair to say that today the Franklin half is considered to be a coin that modern U.S. coin collectors appreciate. The Franklin half was minted from 1948 to 1963, and like its predecessor, it is made of 90% silver. The design was begun in 1947 by John Sinek, who was the chief engraver at the U.S. Mint, and the coin was designed as a replacement for the Walking Liberty $50. Now, the Walking Liberty $50 was first minted in 1916. So by 1947, the Walking Liberty design was over 30 years old. U.S. law states that American coins must retain the same design for at least 25 years unless a design change is authorized by Congress. So the Walking Liberty $50 by law was eligible to be replaced by a new design without needing congressional approval. Nellie Taylor Ross, who was the mint director at the time, instructed John Sinek. Get this here. There we go. There we go. So she instructed John Sinek to begin the design of a new $50 in 1947. And Ross admired Benjamin Franklin, and she wanted Franklin's portrait to appear on this new $50. So John Sinek completed the obverse design of the coin, but he passed away in late 1947 before the reverse design was completed. So the task of completing the Franklin $50 fell to his successor, who was Gilroy Roberts. Now, as far as the coin's design goes, the obverse, the front of the coin, has a right-facing portrait of Benjamin Franklin along with the date and the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust. And if you look carefully, Sinek's initials appear below Franklin's shoulder. The reverse of the coin depicts the Liberty Bell along with the inscriptions United States of America, $50, and E Pluribus Unum. When the coin was first issued, there was a rumor that the O in the word of was engraved in error because the letter O is smaller than the other letters, but mint records show that that was an intentional part of Sinek's design. And the mint mark, if there is one on the coin, will appear at the top of the beam of the Liberty Bell. Now, an interesting fact about the Franklin $50 is that the obverse and reverse designs are modeled after a coin and a medal that Cynic had previously engraved. So I guess one can say he reused some of his art. This is the reverse of the 1926 sesquicentennial of American independence half dollar. This was a commemorative half dollar that was designed by John Cynic. Cynic's Liberty Bell engraving on the Franklin half is obviously quite similar to the one he used on this commemorative half dollar. Likewise, in 1933, Cynic created a Franklin bronze medal for the United States Mint, and this medal was issued to commemorate Benjamin Franklin's life and accomplishments as a founding father. And the portrait of Franklin on this earlier medal bears an obvious resemblance to the one on the Franklin half dollar. Something else that collectors may find a bit different in the design of the Franklin half dollar is the small eagle that appears to the right of the Liberty Bell. And that was included in the design to comply with the U.S. Coinage Act of 1837, which required that an eagle appear on all circulating U.S. coins that are greater in value than a dime. And that law, by the way, is still in effect, but it can be modified by an act of Congress, which was the case with the bicentennial coinage and with the later issues like the U.S. State Quarter Series. Now, in all, over 500 million Franklin half dollars were minted, but many of these were melted by the U.S. Mint to produce other silver coins. So the survival rates of Franklin halves varies. And as far as collecting Franklin halves, there are some key or semi-key dates based on their lower mintages and their market prices. And most, if not all of these dates, are still fairly obtainable. Another collecting consideration are Franklin half dollars that have full bell lines. And these are the lines that run parallel at the bottom of the Liberty Bell. To be considered to have full bell lines means that all 7 of these lines must fully show across the bottom of the bell. And that's because it's a high point of the reverse and is subject to wear. And because of die deterioration, a full bell line Franklin commands a premium. And collectors also look for proof cameos for Franklin halves. Proof cameos occur in the very early strikes when the highly polished dies are first used, and they have very high detail. And not surprising, proof cameos also bring a premium over typical proof strikes of Franklin halves. There's also a variety that appears in the Franklin half dollar series called the Bugs Bunny variety. And this variety occurred because of a minor die clash. As a result of the obverse and reverse dies striking one another, it looks like Franklin has buck teeth. It's something that's most noticeable under magnification. The Bugs Bunny variety is most common in the 1955 mintage, but collectors have found similar varieties in other years. There is also a 1961 proof reverse double die, which is very much sought after. That double die variety is valued in the thousands of dollars if you're lucky enough to find one. Another interesting fact about the Franklin half dollar is that this coin continues a sort of tradition in U.S. half dollar design. If we go back to the seated half dollar, which you see in the upper left, it has a design where Liberty is facing to the left. Its successor, the Barber half dollar, has a design where Liberty faces right. The next half dollar issued, which was the Walking Liberty half dollar, has Liberty facing left. The Franklin half dollar has his portrait facing right. And the Kennedy half dollar has a portrait facing left. So that's a design pattern that has continued for over 175 years. Now, the last Franklin half dollar was minted in 1963. So the series lasted only 15 years, a rather short run for a commonly circulating coin. And that's because Congress elected to change the design of the half dollar to the Kennedy half dollar to commemorate John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated in November of 1963. So if you are a collector of U.S. coins and you don't have a Franklin half dollar in your collection, then you should think about getting one. They're not at all that expensive in higher grades. They're 90% silver, and they are an interesting part of American numismatic history.
That or stick around. You'll have a chance to win one. We're going to do some giveaways on some stickers here in a little bit. And if you win that number 1 sticker, we have a 1963 Benjamin $50.
There you go.
So
If
stick
you don't have
around.
one, you may
You could
win.
win one tonight.
Not guaranteed, but a good chance.
It ain't in the greatest of shapes, but you know. All right. I've seen some people come in. Tom Kingery, welcome,
Hi, Tom.
welcome. Mark the Berg Hunter. Let's see. I think I've said hello to everybody. So, if I hadn't, let our special guests know. Miss AWR is in the house with us tonight, so unless she fell asleep, I think she may have.
A rare
still here.
and splendid occasion.
I'm
Yes,
still here.
yes. All
She's
right.
hiding behind that screen.
Yeah, she's camera shy, so at least she's here with us, hanging out. Appreciate her hanging out with us.
Yes, indeed.
I'm working 2 devices, so it's a little tough.
See, all for the case of the stream. All for the benefit.
That's it. All right.
Shannon.
That was interesting, Jonathan.
There's a lot to know about the Franklin half, and some things I didn't quite know. And it's not a terribly expensive coin. I mean, yes, if you find that 61 double die, you're doing well. But I don't have a lot of Franklins in my collection, but I have some, and they're not terribly expensive and nicer grades.
Yeah. Hey, Shannon. Welcome. I did not realize that they had melted them down for future use.
That's right.
So, well, we're going to get into a new segment here. Hopefully one of these days we'll get some coins, and in fact I've got several coming this way from wins. We'll bring our what's your grade back up, but this time we want to talk about the history of our mints, the U.S. mints. And as most of you know, Philadelphia was our first mint. And I'm going to read some stuff, give you kind of a background. The Philadelphia mint was established to identify our currency, because we was using currency from what they brought over to start off with. And so the United States decided to try to separate us from England and them over there. And my mind's gone blank. So they come up with what was Jonathan talked about, a coinage act. Well, there was several coinage acts, but this was being the first one. The Coinage Act of 1792 was entered into law April the 2nd. it was part of what created the United States Mint. And Philadelphia was our first mint. It was also our capital at the time. And so
Now the presentation's backstage when you're
okay.
if and when you're ready.
Okay. So in 1792, they built our first mint, and we'll do this, and we'll do this. So here's our first president, George Washington. When they started the mint, George Washington appointed David Rittenhouse. Jonathan, if you'll flip it. At the time, David Rittenhouse was a famous American scientist. He invented a lot of stuff. We won't get into that, but let me back up a little bit. David's last name, Rittenhouse, was spelled Rittenhouse. So he was our first director. And so they had to have a building. Well, they had some land. They bought 2 blocks, and I think it was like 4,000. It was $4,266.67 to buy this land that an old whiskey distillery was on. So then they built this brick building, and we'll talk about what's painted on the walls here in a little bit. And so the demolition of the abandoned whiskey distillery on the property began they began foundation work July 31st of that year, and then by September the 7th, the building was ready for installation of the smelting furnace. As you can see, this is a 3-story building. And on the first floor, let me make sure I get this right now. It housed the first floor housed the deposit and weighing rooms, along with the press room, where the striking of coins took place. The second floor was the Mint's official offices. That's where all the higher ups had their office. And then the top floor was the assay office. But this photograph that you're seeing now was took around 1908. And that's when they, the words "Ye Olde Mint" was painted on the walls, 1792. The 1792 was the establishment of the building, but then around 1908 is when they painted "Ye Olde Mint" on the facade. Between the smelt house and the building on 7th Street, a mill house was built. This was very interesting to me. They used horses in the basement that turned the rolling mill located on the first floor. I thought that was pretty cool. And then January 1816, the smelt house and building on 7th Street, which was a mill house. A mill house was built. The basement, I'm getting mixed up here. The smelt and mill house burnt in 1816 and was destroyed. The smelt house was never repaired, but the mill house they rebuilt. They sourced the smelting elsewhere. And then in the basement where the horses was turning the mill, they changed it over to steam engines. Then then Frank Stewart purchased the land in early I am so confused. They done all this prior to 1933, and then after 1933 they moved to a second building. But Frank Stewart bought the land that this building was set on. The building sat on. He went to the city and asked them to preserve this building, but without government funding or anything, this building was demolished somewhere between 1907 and 1911.
Oh, that's sad.
Yes, there's only a plaque there that remains to memorialize the spot. All right, second picture, Jonathan. This is the second building. It was in operation from 1833 to 1901. Designed by William Strickland. The second Philadelphia Mint was kind of called the Grecian Temple. Was constructed of white marble with classic Greek style columns on the front and back. Opening in 1833, its production was constrained by the outdated machinery salvaged from the first mint. Franklin Peel was sent to Europe to study advanced coin making technology, which were brought back to and implemented, increasing productivity and quality. Sold in 1902, the second building was quickly demolished. The cornerstone, buried in 1829, was unearthed and contained a candy jar with a petrified cork stoppering with a cork stopper.
Candy.
Inside the jar, yeah. Well, wait a minute. Don't get ahead of yourself. Inside the jar, 3 coins, a few newspapers, and a scroll with information on the first mint and the creation of the second. The site has been occupied since 1914 by the 19-story building called Widener Building. It's set on 1339 Chestnut Street. All right, third building, Jonathan. This building was in operation from 1901 to 1969. The third building was built at 1700 Spring Garden Street and opened in 1901. It was designed by William Martin Atkins, architect for the Treasury, but it was constructed under James Knox Taylor. It was a block from the United States Smelting Company that was at Broad and Spring Garden Street. And in 1 year alone, the mint produced 501 million coins. That is, that at that time, that was 5/7 of the U.S. currency minted, as well as 90 million coins were minted for foreign countries. This little note: this building took up almost a whole city block. All right, third build.
Yep, sorry. Did I press it too fast?
The fourth building, which is now our current building, began operation in 1969. It's 2 blocks. It is 2 blocks from the first mint. And this building, being the 4th Philadelphia Mint, opened its doors in 1969. It was designed by Philadelphia architect Vincent G. Kling, who would also help design 5 Penn Center, Center Square, and the Annenberg Center of the Performing Arts. It had Tiffany glass mosaic from the third mint, were reinstalled in new facility. It was the world's largest mint when it was built and held that distinction until October of 2017. Excuse me. The Philadelphia Mint can produce up to 1 million coins in 30 minutes. The Mint also produces medals and awards for military, governmental, and civil service. Engraving of all dies and strikers only occur here. Uncirculated coins minted here have the P mint mark, while circulated coins before 1980 carried no mint mark except for the Jefferson nickel minted from 1942 to 1945, which contains silver. And a coin I'm not fond of, they started minting, they started in 1979, was the Susan B. Anthony dollar. since they went through to 1980. All coins minted there have the P mint mark except the cents, the pennies. Although 2017 cents do have the P mint mark. And you can take tours through this building. So if you're ever in Philadelphia, try to book you a tour. Well, I hope y'all found that interesting. I stumbled through it, but
Let's make a field trip, okay? Put together one.
Well,
That'd be fun.
I would like that. Would be fun. Philadelphia had a lot more history than I thought it did.
It certainly does, yes.
You know, the very first one, a sad story that they tore the building down, and
yeah,
they yeah.
Now it seems like such a small building to imagine that so many important foundational coins in American numismatics were made there. That is amazing.
So I mean, you got to think like what we call the largies.
Yeah.
Come from that mint right there.
Yeah. The first U.S. dollar.
Yeah.
Although I wish that lady didn't park her car right in front. Come on. Move along, ma'am.
Yeah.
And I'm no student of architecture by any means, but look at how majestic that building looked, the second.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the modern one. Yep. It looks horrible. That looks like a high school.
Wow.
This looks like a government building. That one looks more like a museum to me.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's the best looking one of the bunch.
What do we say about our coins? The older ones look better.
Yep, I would agree with that.
And would that go along with the buildings too? It just looks like a plain Jane office building.
I hope they have horses in that building too.
All right. Well, that was pretty. Yeah, and there's, like I said, this is going to be a series of. We're just going to do one stream or whatever. So we'll get some more information about some other mints that we got and some that you might not have known about. So I've been doing a lot of researching on all this. Let's say hello to Lucas Warren's World. Welcome, welcome. I believe it's first time here. I don't recognize that name. Michigan Jim. Hey, Joe. Look, there's Emily, Little Dirt Diggers. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, Emily.
Glad y'all can make it tonight. So, Jonathan.
Yes.
Has asked me to drop a link in the description. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah. Do you want to present the next one? Well, we're trying to have at least one treasure story. Not that the mints aren't a treasure, but a treasure story in each of our streams. And this is one that I found not too long ago. And obviously it's about a medieval Dutch treasure. And when I read the article, I hadn't heard anything at all about it. So I thought I would share it with all of you. This treasure story,
I had never heard.
Yeah. It didn't make the news here. It probably made the news in Holland, but I hadn't heard of it at all. And the story is really, well, it begins in late 2021. And that is when metal detectorist Lorenzo Reuter discovered a buried treasure in Hogwood, Netherlands. It sounds a bit like Hogwarts, but it's Hogwood. And judging by the photo, it looks like I'm no expert. Looks like he might be swinging a dais there. I don't know. Maybe folks in the chat can comment on that. Now, Hogwood is located in the northern part of the Netherlands. It is, I don't know. It's probably about, judging by this map, it's probably maybe 40, 50 miles north of Amsterdam. And the treasure that Reuter found consisted of 4 ornate gold crescent-shaped earrings and 2 gold ribbons and 39 medieval silver coins. So all in one location. That's where he found it. The most important objects from the treasure trove are considered to be the earrings, which historians dated from around 1000 AD. 2 pairs of earrings were recovered from the site, 2 with engraved decorations. So the decoration is carved into the metal. That's what you're looking at here. And 2 with filigree, so metal that is pushed forward. On one of the engraved earrings is what historians say is a portrait of Christ as Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. And the second set of engraved earrings has a decoration with twisted gold threads. The earrings, as found, had been badly damaged, probably because of plowing over many centuries. And the earrings have been dated to about 1050 AD. And the crescent moon shape of the jewelry is most likely borrowed from Byzantine examples. Now, in addition to the 4 gold earrings, 2 fragments of gold ribbon were found at the site. These gold ribbons are puzzling to researchers because no comparable objects are known from that period. And the theory is that they sat on a cloak or a belt as a gold decoration. The silver coins that were found were minted in different parts of Holland. The oldest coins in the hoard were found to be minted between 1197 and 1212 AD. And the other coins were minted in 1247 or 1248. So that helps date when the treasure was deposited to around 1250 AD. And that was a time of civil war between the Dutch regions of West Friesland and Holland. And the area around Hogwood was the center of this fighting. Reuter said it's possible that someone at the time buried the valuable objects to protect them from the warring armies with the hope of digging them up once the fighting ended, but for whatever reason, the objects were never recovered by the owner. Reuter also said that the treasure is significant to Dutch history because there are very few examples of gold jewelry from the 10th and 11th centuries that has been found in the Netherlands. Now, the Hogwood treasure discovery was kept secret for almost 2 years. So it was found in 2021. That's why it was kind of revealed now. And it was kept secret for 2 years because the staff at the Dutch National Museum of Antiquities needed time to preserve and to research and to date the treasure. And considering its historical significance, the treasure was placed permanently on loan in the museum, which will present it. But I found this interesting. The treasure will remain the legal property of the finder, Lorenzo Reuter. Now, Reuter, who has been metal detecting since he was 10, said it was very special discovering something this valuable. I can't really describe it, and I never expected to discover anything like this. And I'd say that's a pretty fair assessment. So if you are interested in learning more about the treasure, then you can download a PDF of Reuter's pamphlet, which is written in Dutch, but it contains some amazing photographs of the treasure. Reuter also did an interview in English with the BBC, and the link to that interview is in the video description of our live stream. So, someone evidently back in the day encouraged Lorenzo Reuter at an early age. He said he started at the age of 10 to take up metal detecting, and probably instilled in him a passion for history and a passion for treasure hunting. And look what happened. Look what happened years later. So you just never know what your input, what your influence is going to have on another person. And I think this is one of the many reasons why we detectorists should encourage the next generation of detectorists, because look what happened. And that's the treasure story of the Hogwood treasure.
And speaking of young detectorists, we have Miss Emily in here. If you don't follow Emily, get over there and do so. She finds some cool stuff. And she just, well, I believe she started when she was at the age of 4. Is that correct, Emily? And
Jason, you are a youngster.
say hello to Audra.
Hi, Audra.
Yep. Jersey History Hunters.
There are a lot of youngsters in the chat. We're not denying that.
Yep. But guys, if you're out of the loop or whatever, been sleeping for the last couple of weeks, definitely get over there to Jersey History Hunters. Can You Dig It with Dawn and Shelley and Underground Buddha? Bobby, I'm not going to say a whole lot. They've got a great event planned for August. There's a lot of interest in this event, and I am glad to say that Team AWR has made plans. We've done registered, done booked a room, and to come out to Dig It Dude, the gathering. Y'all tune into those 3 channels: Jersey History Hunters, Can You Dig It with Dawn and Shelley, and Underground Buddha. They will be telling more details. There'll be a lot of details as time gets close. So I know we are excited, and so yeah, Team AWR is going to Jersey. So y'all tune in to them to find out some more details. Jonathan, what do you say? Let's do a giveaway.
I think folks like giveaways.
Okay. This is your chance to win a limited edition Team AWR sticker. And if you draw, this one's number 9, if you draw the number 1 sticker, you will win this Benjamin half dollar. It's a 1963, last year of the Benjamins. And it's in fair shape. It's nowhere near mint condition. So the very first one I see in my chat on my phone right here will be the winner. And
Paul doesn't want me belly aching.
I don't want to have to deal with it, but some people are that way, and I'm not going to say nothing else, but you will win this coin if you draw that number 1 sticker. The question, or let me rephrase that. The answer, I want it spelt right. And
he's tough.
Yep. I went over the spelling. The question is, who did George Washington appoint as the first director of the Philadelphia Mint? No, it wasn't Paul Hughes. All right, guys, we got the last name. That's all everybody's putting in.
He didn't say first name.
I know. And they spelled it right too. Shannon Bortner. All right. Shannon only. Let me make sure.
I see Shannon's on mine as well.
All right. Shannon, give me a number 1 through 19. Congrats, Shannon. Oh, wait. Rick, redraw. Mark. Number 8. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is your sticker right here, Shannon. And Shannon picked number 15. Shannon, you got you a good hologram Team AWR sticker headed your way.
A rarity.
Yes, it's 1 of 25. I'm putting my email in the, if I can remember it. I tell you what, this has been
at google.com.
No.
Horse at the mint at gmail.com.
All right. Shannon, there is my email address. If you'll shoot me your address, I'll get this out to you.
I think we need to create a fund to memorialize those horses. That's pretty special. They did a lot of work. We hear about Rittenhouse, big deal. What about the horses? Typical government operation. Congratulations, Shannon.
Well, that's just like that building. I mean, you'd think that they'd want to save it, but no.
So the U.S. Mint's foundation was a whiskey distillery.
It was.
We tore it down.
Again, congratulations, Shannon. And then the other rule I didn't go over, if you've done one of these stickers, you cannot win another, because I want to have 25 different winners. And so, Shannon, we'll get this out to you, and then we'll got you wrote down already, so I can keep up with who and all's won. Charlie Reiser was our last winner. He won sticker number 2. Anthony won number 5. Mark the Bird Hunter won number 6. And then FLX John Donaldson won 19. Mark Thomas won number 21. And the Marty's is nuts about digging won number 25.
Was Marty the first one?
It's either Mark Thomas or Marty.
Awesome.
I do not remember.
Yeah, so it's okay. So, just curious.
All right. Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Paul.
Let's do it again.
Your generosity knows no bounds. Let's do that.
All right. Emily, here's your chance.
Boy, we need to come up with a question.
Jonathan, I believe you have a question.
Are you ready in chat? Again, it's the first. Should it be
The
spelled
first
properly?
one I
don't.
see.
Yes, it does have to be spelled properly. Okay.
I mean, if you can't. But the very first one I see in my chat is going to be the winner. All right.
Are you ready? In what U.S. city was Benjamin Franklin born in? I double in. So in what U.S. city was Benjamin Franklin born? What's the name of the city?
Do I see it?
I do. But which?
No. What's the answer, Jonathan?
The answer is Boston. He was not born in Philadelphia. He lived much of his life in Philadelphia, but he moved to Boston as a fairly young man. But his family, he moved to Philadelphia, but his family was from Boston.
And I saw Mr. Taco, Boston. He was from Boston. All right, NJD. Give me a number 1 through 18.
Oh, look at that. Another generous chap.
Okay, number 9. All right, here we go. This is for Emily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 9 is this sticker right here. Emily, you got you a sticker. Sticker number 3.
Congratulations.
All right. Sorry it wasn't number 1. So you could win this also. So, Emily, we'll get that out to you. If your dad can shoot me y'all address on Messenger, and we'll get that one out to you. So let me write Miss Emily down. All right. And we'll get those out to Emily and Shannon. So be expecting some mail.
So how many stickers are left, Paul?
We have 17 left.
Just a matter of time.
Yep. So everybody ready for Easter, I hope. Yeah, Barbara, you're a little late. He went.
Not even gonna give your sister one.
Got to win it just like everybody else does.
Fair is fair.
Yep. So, who's got big plans for Easter this weekend? Anybody getting out digging tomorrow? Meeting up with family, having big dinner?
That's what we're doing on Sunday. Oh, not a big dinner, but Easter dinner.
I know our son is coming up. Hang out with us for a little while. I'm moving this mouse like I'm trying to do something on my phone. That's going to work real well. All right. Well, Jonathan, we gone an hour.
Perfect. That's what our target is.
Yep. Audra said she's digging with fun with dirt tomorrow. It's always a fun video to watch when they get together. They find some cool stuff. It's but guys, I hope everybody has a good Easter. If you're out there digging, we hope you find something good.
If you're driving, stay safe.
Exactly.
Don't eat any bad eggs.
Emily says she's detecting eggs on Sunday.
Hopefully they have silver in them.
So we hope everybody stays safe and, like I said, have a good Easter. We will. Not sure if we're going to be next week. Me and Jonathan's got to talk.
Yeah, probably be doing this every 2 weeks because it does take time to research our stories and get things coordinated. And we'll either be doing it here or on my channel. We don't know, but we'll let you know. And hopefully you learned something and had some fun. And it was great seeing everybody.
It was good seeing everybody. If I stream, it'll be just a chat stream next week. But yeah, like I said, hook up with Jersey History Hunters. Can you dig it with Dawn and Shelley and Underground Buddha to find out more details about the event coming up in August. Dig It Dude, the gathering. So go over and watch them. And anybody else that's in the chat, I've seen Deej was in here. Go support her. Mark the Berg Hunter and Marty is nuts about digging, and there's no telling who and all comes on with them. They always have an interesting show. So go out and support everybody.
Yes. Want Mark to get that electric bike out now that it's warm.
Yep.
Modify it. I think he said his Stingray is not going to be running this season. I don't know.
Okay. I will, Barbara. So everybody have a good night. Jonathan, if you'll stick around for a minute.
Sure thing.
And we'll say goodbye, everybody.